Common Collective is a student organization where we take our skills and we use it for the betterment of a nonprofit or some other worthy organization. An example could be the school, some company around the Boston area that's doing something interesting, or perhaps an organization that's doing something relevant to our student subjects. An example of that might be ESPN. We've done a number of projects with them. We've actually done a 7-minute documentary for the Boston Marathon. Last year, we worked with the U.S. Department of Drug Enforcement and created a 30-second public service announcement that ran nationally twice.
We create content, but we're not exactly built for VMAs. We started in the School of Communication and kind of as a tool for students to gain the skills to be good digital storytellers, whether that's video, photography, podcasting. I'm interested in making content for social media because as a PR student, that'll be really beneficial for me.
And using that to figure out, okay, how can students and our alumni effectively do programs or effectively do communication plans that tell the right stories that create change in this world?
So it is true that Common Collective is not officially recognized by SEAL and SGA. And so with that, we don't have funding from the school. So Mark is generous enough to have spent some money on equipment and things like that. But as one of the presidents, I have taken responsibility to take the necessary steps to get us recognized by the SGA. So I'm actually currently working on that. I'm in communication with them right now so we can get the funding that we deserve, I think, and create a better legacy for Common Collective in the future.
Common Collective is self-funded. We're not yet an SGA-approved student organization, which means I'm footing the bill. But I went to Emerson, so it's part of my mission to make sure that 100% of the people that graduate from Emerson that I can affect in a positive way, that they understand digital grammar, they understand storytelling, that they've got real practical skills. You know, it's great to go to a class and learn something, but if you don't take that skill set out into the real world and use it on your own terms, then what's the purpose? The people that really get ahead at Emerson College are the ones that go to class, learn a skill, join an organization, and embrace the knowledge that they have by actually using it. And that's exactly what we do at Common Collective. We find ways where we can use our skill sets, whether it's journalism, public relations, social media, political communications, marketing, sign language, whatever it might be. If you just go to a class, chances are you're not going to get too far in life. But if you go to a class, you join an organization, and you use those skills on a frequent basis so that you can master them, so that you can get those 10,000 hours needed to really master anything, well, that's what we do. That's what we're all about. And so far, all the feedback we've gotten from these organizations we've worked with has been super positive.
I personally have made bad videos, but that's part of the learning process, you know. Over the summer, when I was working with Mark, we had a short film festival. So I made a film, and it probably wasn't the best thing that Mark's ever seen, but it was really great, and it was a great learning experience. So, you know, when you start to create these things, when you enter Common Collective, Mark always says that failure stands for first attempt in learning, usually requires errors, and I really believe in that. So yeah, my first couple videos were not the best, but I'm definitely getting better at it.
Yeah, you're not talking to the right people.
You were there with
I was talking to the butler. Always start with the butler.
With Common Collective, it's all about using your skills. There's no credits involved with here. There's no assignments. But what can happen, if you do a project and it has a social impact, you could be eligible for one non-academic credit. So an example could be, the last few weeks we went to Washington, D.C. for the Global Communication Conference with Emerson and Blanquerna. There were a number of Common Collectivists who went down, they paid for the trip on their own, they attended the conference, and they created content. As a result of the participation, they got to hear a keynote speech from that iconic, that legendary investigative reporter, Bob Woodward. And this happened all at the Watergate Hotel where the Watergate break-in went down.
Common Collective has played a key role in our ability to capture the content down in DC through the digital means of just filming the entire event with equipment that we used from Emerson, along with following up with interviews with some of the key panelists who spoke and had what we called Emerson Dialogues. They followed up with interviews, and then now they're in the part of turning that raw footage into something that tells the story of what the Emerson Blankerna Global Communication Summit was, and why it was important, and why it really gave a spotlight on our Emerson alums and the network of people who collaborate with us.
Because we had this conference at the Watergate Hotel, we got access to the scandal room itself. We saw the taping equipment, and as you walk out of the balcony of the scandal room, you're looking at the adjacent building, part of the Watergate complex, that actually held the Democratic National Committee. So for history buffs, for politicos, it was an amazing experience, topped off, of course, by listening to Bob Woodward himself.
Buddy, sit at the table. There you go. We saved you the spot. Head of the table. You're like the boss man now.
What?
You're the boss.
Oh. Okay. No problem.
Jomo.
Okay. Ooh, what?
So I am expecting that we will be successful in becoming officially recognized. It does just take time. There is that like bureaucracy aspect to it. There's some red tape, but it just takes persistency and that communication to do it. So I'm working on it.
They've been very creative, very active, a lot of good energy. I mean, those things kind of go along with what the Emerson student is. So it's good to see that we've got a collection of students who are using, these Emerson talents together and using them in a way that helps showcase some of the great things that this school is doing.
I feel like there's so many funny and interesting things that do happen every Wednesday when we meet, but I think the biggest takeaway is just the connections that we've been making with other students and the friendships that have been building over the past couple of weeks. They're just really special to me, and it's kind of my favorite part of the week is coming to these meetings on Wednesdays.
So I know what Mark's capable of. Common Collective has been around, and one of the things that I've got to play a role in is helping him, get students involved. And, he really is hands-on at like helping them figure out the right way of, becoming digital storytellers.
One might ask, why do you do this? You're not an SGA-approved organization. You fund it out of your own pocket. I do this because I'm part of this community. I'm an Emersonian just like everybody else. I just happen to be a little bit older, a lot older, and have a lot more experience out in the real world. That said, there are so many like-minded souls that just happen to be younger. They want to use their skills. They have a voice. I just give them a mission and a means. Take that skill, use your voice, change the world, and that's what we do.